especially here in New York, Rudy Giuliani, who talked about Black Lives Matter and was very critical about this movement. He went as far as to call this movement racist and anti-American. Do you want to respond to those comments?
Wow, there's so many things to say there. First of all, and by the way, Black Lives Matter and the movement for Black Lives this morning issued a pledge, which I actually tweeted out today, calling for justice, calling for peace, and calling for a togetherness at a moment where we're attempting to be divided. So I think it's really important. To say that the Black Lives Matter movement is racist is bizarre to me. Not just because black people don't have the institutional power to be racist or to deploy racism, but because the movement is called for justice. It's called for demilitarization. It's called for nonviolence. And because a few people enter that space and kind of colonize that space and do something other than what the movement is about doesn't mean the movement is wrong. In the same way that Tea Party movement called for fiscal responsibility. But there are racists at the rallies. I've been to some of the Tea Party rallies. There are racists there. But I wouldn't say the Tea Party is a racist movement as such. I would say that there are people who invaded and divert the movement. And that's what's happening here. And to say that it's un-American, there's nothing more American than expressing dissent. There's nothing more American than saying that we're moving in the wrong direction. It's only when black people say the country's moving in the wrong direction that they say it's un-American or go back if you don't love it or leave it. When conservatives in the 80s and the 90s said America's moving in the wrong direction, when the moral majority said we're having a moral failure as a nation, no one said, well, if you don't like it, leave it. They said, okay, we'll try to change it. So now here in America, we say there's a moral failure of police violence. There's a moral failure of police terrorism at times. And there's a moral failure of gun culture for all people. We need to change that.